Okay guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going to have a very interesting topic, and that will be how to pass prop firms quickly. That's a bit of a misleading topic, but essentially in this video we're going to be talking about the mental state of mind that you need to have and you need to be in to, having the right mentality to approaching prop trading and, trading in general. And it's going to be a short video. Obviously, I won't be able to talk about everything that you would need to actually be a good trader, but I will try my best to, as much as I'm trying to keep the video short and informative, I will try my best to actually list out things that will help you be efficient as a trader. And yeah, that's every one of us who want to be a trader or are traders, and we think we're smart and we try to do a lot of things, try different strategies, and try to avoid losses in general and just want to be the best trader we can be. And that is possible, but it's only possible with the right mindset and not just about technical analysis and reading candles or whatever your model is. This video has nothing to do with technical analysis, and it's just about how to pass or how to be a better trader overall. Now, step one, like I said, having the right mentality. Now, you might be wondering, what is this dude talking about? What do you mean the right mentality? What do you mean mentality? Are you one of those gurus that talk about psychology? No. Like I said, this video is not about your trading strategy. It's not about technical analysis. It's just about the state of mind that you have to, kind of have in the back of your head and the understanding about trading in a way that you're not trying to chase wins and you're trying to build habits that allow wins to come to you naturally. Now, let me land. This is you, right? This is you. And you're probably a trader who trades props or a live account. Most traders don't trade live accounts. A lot of traders trade props. But here's the problem with trading props. Most people feel that if they trade a live account, they're going to lose money. And that is true. You will lose money trading a live account. But some people have that exact same mentality, and in the same breath, they go ahead to purchase thousands of prop accounts and they keep failing. And at some point they realize that they've actually spent more money than they would have actually trading a live account and taking it seriously. And they look at the math and they realize the math is not mathing. They realize that they're actually losing more money than they would even make if they eventually pass a prop evaluation, right? So that in itself is one of the things that has to do with the understanding of prop trading and how to actually maximize the potential that props have. Now, to maximize the potential that props have, you need to realize that props have potential. Let's say the green guy is you. The white guy is, prop firms like, funded next, funded pips, funding pips, whatever they call themselves. Funded trader or whatever. This is you. You pay them. They give you an account to trade. You're not buying an account. You're not. People don't really understand what exactly it is they're buying. Now, as much as props have potential, the first thing you have to understand about props is you need to know how to do math, first of all. If you're buying an account from a prop firm, you're not buying a $100,000 account for $600. That's like a gimmick that's used to sell you something, and then people just go in blindly, buy it, and then they fail, and then they're donating money to these companies. And it's important to actually have a good understanding of what it is you're doing whenever you're trading props. Again, this is going to be a video in a series. There's going to be much more videos that cover a lot more about these topics, and I'm not going to be able to cover everything in this one video, and I want to make it as short as possible. But essentially, to capitalize on the potential that props have, you need to know how much it is you're spending on props. You can't just buy props anytime you feel one and just keep buying and lying to yourself to make yourself feel good about you being a terrible trader. Okay? Now, as much as potential that prop prop firms, prop accounts, evaluations, funded accounts have, if you don't realize it and if you cannot capitalize on that potential, you won't be able to make it in trading. It's that simple. Now, there's two types of traders when it comes to prop trading. Two types of traders. There's the first type, which is the half trader, and the second type, which is the trade or die. Now, obviously, there's more than two types of traders, but this is just a presentation to emphasize this disparity between these two types of traders. Now, obviously, the trade or die person is, usually trying to trade to make money quickly. Most times they're in debt or they just need money for something really quickly, and they just think trading is a get-rich-quick scheme, and they find out really quickly that trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and they end up losing more money than they actually should be making. Now, of these two types of traders, you have the half traders and then we have the trade or die. I'm going to talk about each of the characteristics of each of these type of people. Now, obviously, this isn't everyone who falls, like anyone who falls into this category or anyone who falls into the trade or die category. That does not define who they are. If you are someone who has one source of income or unemployed, does not mean this is exactly what you are. It's a general assumption, and not even an assumption. Like, this is actually, for most people, this is the situation that they are in. Now, for the first type of trader, the half traders, they usually have multiple streams of income, right? They usually are employed, they have a job, and they're probably trading half-time or part-time. They don't trade full-time, right? And that's important because people who don't have a source of income, most people who actually try to trade are unemployed, they take trading as something that is a reflection of their actual self-worth. And whenever they don't do well trading, it affects how they feel about themselves, and indirectly or sometimes even directly affects their trading performance, and they're stuck in a loop where they can't actually make money trading, regardless of what model they trade or whatever it is they use to look at the markets. They just cannot make money because their psyche is just fucked up. Now, the half trader who has multiple streams of income, they have a place that they make money from, right? They're not obligated to be profitable traders. They can live without making money trading, right? They usually have a job, right, which is recommended. You should have a job before you get into trading. Or if you're a student living with your parents, that's even better. But there's a lot of complications, and people have really different lives, and there's no one shoe fits all. It's just important that you find what's best for you. Now, these people who are half traders, they usually can trade however they like, literally like degenerates, right? A lot of times you see videos online where you see them just entering positions, and sometimes they have profits. Most of the time they only post profits. Trust me, a lot of these guys, they do not know how to trade. And that's not me trying to say, oh, I know how to trade and this guy doesn't know how to trade. No. These people don't know what they're doing, and a lot of times they sell the idea that trading is easy. They often portray trading as easy. So you either buy their course or sub into their Discord for like $50 a month, which is like the benchmark now. The most cheapskate Discords are like, oh, $50 a month. Yeah, we trade here. Come on. And don't take this for like me saying, oh, all Discords are bad. No, there are actually useful Discords. But for the most part, they consist of people who are in this bracket, who have an other source of income apart from trading and don't know how to trade, and are usually unprofitable with absolutely no pressure to be profitable because, they're probably making money from you who are paying to learn from them, right? If you pay them $50 a month, if 100 people pay them $50 a month, that's $5,000 a month from 100 people. In a year, that's about $50K. I don't even know if I did that math right, but basically it's a lot of money, and they don't really even need to know how to trade. So that's just one thing. And most gurus and streamers who you find online, they fall into this category. Again, not all of them, most of them. And it is true. If this offends you, I'm sorry, you might have to go somewhere else. Now, these people, trade or die, they usually have one source of income or less. Usually you're unemployed, other students or whatever they are. They need money, they want money, they're chasing that trader lifestyle, the Lambos, the Porsches, the Bugattis. They want to be profitable. If they're not profitable, well, they don't really have anything else. So this is a second category of people, and most regular people who start trading fall into this category. Yes, including myself, because I don't have a job. I'm basically unemployed, right? But I have been lucky enough. I won't even call it luck, but I have put in the work, and I have actually been able to make some money for myself from trading. Also, I'm a student who lives with my parents, and I don't really have much of a pressure to actually be profitable. So I believe that also helps, and I won't try to paint the image that, oh, I came from nothing and I came from the dust and I was so broke. No, that's not what I'm trying to paint. And that would be the wrong image to give to someone who is actually struggling, and they're gonna wonder what is going on with themselves. Trust me, you're not the problem. A lot of times trading, if you're bad at trading, it goes beyond just technical analysis, which is why I make these videos. Now, these people who fall into this category, they often fall victim to trading scams by the people on the left, right? The gurus, the people who try to sell trading as something that, oh, fair value gap this, blah, 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 boom, it's so easy. They fall victim to all those people. Those people that tell them, oh, it's so easy. You just have to go to this hour chart and this hour chart, and then the 1 second chart, the 200 tick chart, or whatever the fuck they sell these days. And these people on the left tell the people on the right that, hey, look, I made money trading this. You can make money trading this too in just 2 months. And then these people give these people money, right? The trader die give these people money, and they lose money basically by paying these people to teach them how to trade. And you can just see the problem there. These people don't know how to trade, and these people are paying to learn how to trade. So it's just a parasitic relationship, because these people are making money while these people are not, instead of both of them making money from learning and teaching. But in this case, we have someone who doesn't know how to trade trying to teach. Anyway, that's not the topic of this video. Also, these people on this side really don't know how to do math, right? They don't know how to check out risk to reward. They don't know how to actually weigh the benefits of the money that they spend. A lot of times they buy evals. Even these people, right? They burn through evals. Most of the time they don't also know how to trade, right? They trade like degenerates. They buy 10, 20 evals in a month. When they fail, they buy another one. They don't try to address the root cause of unprofitability. That's not a good state to be in. Anyway, we have the approach of these people. Now, they both usually have hundreds of failed evals. A lot of times the people on this side, the trade or die people, are usually too broke to even have hundreds of evals, right? They don't have that money. They don't have $10,000 to spend on 200 evals, where each one is like $300 a month, right? They don't have that money. So they try to take things slowly, often going under risk. Again, they don't know how to do math, and because they don't know how to trade, it just forms a snowball, and they just end up in a mess. Now, these people usually full port, they pass evals in like 1 to 2 trades. They show you their certificate like it's some certification of them knowing how to trade. But in reality, they just show you like 2 certificates, and behind they have like 200 failed evaluations, right? And you take that, those fancy certificates as proof that these people know how to trade, and then you pay them, and they can't teach you shit. And all they teach you is how to gamble on your phone, because trading there's a very thin dividing line between trading and gambling. Trust me, it just can be as bad as gambling. Now, these people have unlimited budgets, terrible financial decision making. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars in evil expenditure, like I said in the last slide. Also, some people in this case are really special. They borrow money to buy evil accounts. So I've heard stories of people who don't even have money, and then they take their credit card and they spend $1,000, $2,000 on evals, thinking they're gonna pass and easily pay off the money. But we all know how that goes. They're under too much pressure to make money, and they end up losing it all and ending up in a much deeper mess than they were when they started. Now, both of these people also do little to no research. They just anytime they see an Apex 90% discount, they just buy. They don't read the rules that these prop firms set. Prop firms don't want you to pass, but they don't read those rules. They just go on and buy the accounts, like every other person out there, and they spend money, and when they manage to pass one or two, they're like posting their certificates online, be like, oh, look here, I passed this trading evaluation, I know how to trade, right? And then they manage to fail like every possible rule on like 100 accounts in the behind the scenes. They don't show you that, but it's true. These people are terrible at trading. Now, obviously, I don't know these people, but they exist, and I know they exist because I see the signs on social media. Social media is filled with unprofitable people. Anyway, you need to do research, right? You can take a screenshot of this, put it into ChatGPT if you can't, think about it for yourself. Just reverse engineer this. Whatever you see here, try to do the opposite. Don't full port. Trade like a human being. Have a risk management plan. I'm going to make videos about those. Don't also try to take things too slow. There's a middle ground that you can take where you don't, go too slow and you don't go too fast. I think I'm already taking too long in the video. But just bear with me for a second, right? Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to be over in about 2, 3, 4 minutes. Also, if you can't take 15 minutes, 16 minutes out of your day to actually learn something useful, I don't even think you should be trading in the first place, because trading is something that is time intensive. To develop yourself, you're going to need hours of consuming useful material. Me personally, I've consumed, I would say, over like 1,000, 2,000 hours of like trading content, from various sources like ICT, T-Trades, and some other actual useful trading mentors on YouTube. I've never paid for a mentor, and I wouldn't really advise that to other people unless you don't have the time it takes to actually study and piece these pieces of information together. But most of the time, you can actually just learn to trade on YouTube. Like, it's actually so easy, but we're not here to talk about that. Now, let's talk about the third type of trader. We should all be like this guy. Even myself, I try every day to become like this guy, the 0.1% of traders. This is the peak trader. There are actually traders like this who exist, right? Don't think that you cannot be profitable trading. There are people who are like this who exist. Again, it doesn't matter what strategy you trade, whether you trade ICT, TCI, ICC, TCC, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't care what the fuck you trade. You can become an elite trader, and becoming an elite trader it's not based on your strategy. Your strategy is important, but that's not the main thing. What matters is how you view the markets and how you think. Now, for these people, they don't have hundreds of failed evals. They don't full port. They don't buy evals like a monkey, and they don't try to take things slowly, or they don't have the traits of the other people that we talked about in the previous slide, right? I can just go back to the slide again. You can take a screenshot. It's a PowerPoint slide, so you can see the animations. You can take a screenshot of this. Don't forget it. Now, what do these people have that we don't have? Well, they treat every evaluation /funded like they would a live account with real money, so they won't have issues transitioning. Now, this is very important because a lot of people feel like, oh, you shouldn't take a lot of time trading, and I will make a video about that. It's a very important topic. Yes, you shouldn't take too long trading evaluations, but if you're just starting out as a new trader, I would advise you to take as much time as you need to pass those accounts, because the thing is, if you journal like myself, you need data, and to acquire data, you need real experience in the markets. And prop firms are a good way to actually put skin into the game. I don't want to talk too much about that, so that will be a separate video. Make sure to keep an eye out on my Twitter, Telegram, whatever. I will make a video about that. So keep an eye out. Also, you can screenshot it to remind me. I'm really easy to access. You can DM me on Twitter, whatever. Now, these people also never deviate from strategies, right? You can see it on the left side. I haven't been, I forgot to put my mouse on the monitor. These people, they don't jump strategy. They don't strategy hop. These people are patient. They're confident, and they trust their own analysis. They don't analyze the charts and then go on Twitter and be like, oh, but this guy is bullish and I'm bearish. Now I want to be bullish too. They don't do that. They do their own analysis, and they trust it, and they put their money behind it. And whether they lose or not, they accept it and they move forward. They don't just try to, dog lick and follow every single thing that they see on social media. Now, these people also prioritize long-term sustainability, and they do not chase passing evaluations like their life depends on it. You should not chase passing evaluations. If you fail an evaluation, it doesn't mean you're a terrible person. It just means you didn't meet the criteria needed. It does not mean anything more than that. If you fail an evaluation, it simply means you did not meet the requirements. It doesn't mean you're a terrible trader, even though you might be a terrible trader. That's not what it means. Now, the even top 0.01%, which is, I'm just exaggerating at this point, but these people take it a step further to actually know the risk to reward, right? If you're spending $5,000 on evals and then you pass one eval and then you make a payout of $2,000, you haven't made any money, right? That's just like a great example of risk to reward in real life. If you spend $5,000 on evaluations and you haven't even made a payout, you haven't made any money. All the demo, like even if you pass, you haven't made any money, so you're still losing money. You're not profitable. Now, these people also adapt to ever-changing market conditions. They don't just cry, oh, PA is bad, Trump this, Israel that. No, they learn and they adapt to the changing market conditions. Now, these people also think. They have brains, right? They think outside the norm. They didn't just trade one thing blindly without knowing how or why it works. That's just as bad as trading patterns with head and shoulders and, whatever it is out there. I'm not going to talk about trading strategies. I'm going to try my best, and I'm not going to talk about it. Also, these people are resilient, and they have even more patience. They have the ability to recognize and wait out low probability conditions. Now, this is also an entire topic in itself. There's a lot to talk about this. Low probability conditions, what they are. These people, the top 0.1%, they don't trade every single market cycle, right? Sometimes the market is not good to trade. And knowing when to avoid it is key to being a great trader. Now, what do you think it takes to be an elite trader? You can drop some sauce in the comments. That would be much appreciated. Obviously, I don't know everything, and there's much more to be discussed about this topic, but I do feel that this video will help someone who is just starting out and is a beginner and is just getting to know stuff about trading. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So you can follow my socials for more shit like this. This is my Twitter, DYK_Ceph. And this is my YouTube, which you would know if you're watching this video because I'm posting it on YouTube. But if for some reason you're not watching this on YouTube, I don't know how that's going to be possible. But yeah, this is my YouTube, cephx Trades. Now, there's so much more to cover in terms of being a better trader, but I will end here for the sake of your attention span. I know you're already tired. If you even made it to the end of the video, right? I know like half of the people who click on this video will not watch to the end. But that's it. The video is over. You can actually click over now. You can click off. I'm just going to be yapping. This is just a dip in the pool of how to pass evaluations and become profitable overall. This is not everything you need to become a profitable trader. This is just a dip in the pool. There's lots more to talk about. Trust me. So that's it. And finally, here are some books that helped me to be a better trader as a prop trader. And they could help you too. I'm going to put the Google Drive link in the description so you don't have to sign up on the websites that I got these from, because they're going to ask you for your email and all that shit. I'm just going to put a Google Drive link and you can just download it and read this shit up. Now, the first one is Prop Trader Secrets by Funded Next. It's kind of funny because this book was made by a prop firm, but they're teaching you how to make money from them. I know it's kind of funny, but it's actually a useful book, and I used it and I can vouch for it and tell you that it's a really useful book. It's not that long. It's about 100 pages or so, I think. It's not that long, really useful. And the second one is Prop Trading Secrets and How Successful Traders, blah, blah, blah. Just read it. It's a really nice book. 2 books, really, really nice. And they don't really talk about strategy or anything. They just talk about, the mentality and the right frame of mind to have when you are a prop trader. Now, be sure to actually read them. No, I'm not an affiliate. They did not pay me to put this on here. Actually read the books. If you don't read them, they can't help you. I don't know what else to say. It's that simple, right? And step 2 is coming soon. If you notice, I only talked about step 1, right? Step 2 is coming soon, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, cheers.